Don't worry, or you should also be in an open relationship the same as your husband, the same as your other half, and don't worry about the herpes, they're cleared up now, so I'm good to go. She responded back with, I don't know who you are, but you've definitely got the wrong number. My husband is not in an open relationship, and blah, blah, blah. You have the wrong number. And they responded back, sorry. It was the exact same phone number that was texting me about the show, this guy that I met the night when I came off the stage. I tried everything in the world to find my wife's cell phone number online. It was virtually impossible. I could not find it. So that was weird. So then things just started to get weirder in friendships. People that I would have worked with for a long time, we would normally meet up for supper or what have you. One would pick the other one up, and it seemed like people were trying to skate around me type of thing. So friendships started to become weird. That happened, and everything was just going on all at once. And it was really eating away at my brain. And then what happened, the other thing was, the other major thing was I was in St. John performing, and one show got canceled due to a snowstorm. So I'm messaging with someone, and they're asking, where is the club exactly? Is there any other clubs around? Blah, blah, blah. Are you going to the Barcade later? Which I've mentioned the Barcade before, so that's how they knew about that. So I explained the club is here, the condo is here. Most of you will know what club I was at. And that club had nothing to do with this situation, guaranteed, nothing at all. Loved that place. And so anyway, I'm in the condo, messaging away, and went and took a shower. When I got out of the shower, and I'd let them know, you know, the Five and Dime is right here as well, blah, blah, blah. So I get out of the shower, and I have a message from another comic that says, I'm down at the Five and Dime, you guys should come down. And I was performing with one of my pretty much best friends. And so we headed down and walked in, talked to them for a few minutes, the one that sent me the message. They bought us a drink, and then they took off. And we were trying to figure out, myself and my buddy were trying to figure out, do we want to have another drink, or do we want to just go to the Barcade or whatever? And he said, no, we'll just have another drink here, and then we'll go on that and see what we're going to do. I said, great. So I'm walking up to the bar, and this blonde turns around and says, we're going to dance. And I told him, I stood up to get the drinks, and he said, no, let me get them, you always buy, etc. I said, no, it's just the way I am, don't worry about it. And I'm closer. So anyway, I continued on towards the bar, and the blonde turns around and says, let's dance. I said, number one, I don't dance. Number two, it's not a dance club. Number three, I'm just getting a couple drinks. She goes, well, too bad you're going to dance. So I said, okay, great. There was like 10 seconds left in the song, and I'm not a dancer. So I said, okay. So we go up beside the little ledge thing and start dancing. And she goes, I have no idea who you are, but you're gorgeous. And I'm thinking, here's this blonde. That does not happen to me before, after, during shows. Any point in my life does any blonde turn around and go, hey, let's go dance, and tell me that I'm gorgeous and all that kind of stuff. And then they said, it's just too bad. And what happened was, I said thanks for the dance when the song was over, and then a slow song came on, so they grabbed me and continued to dance. And they said, you're absolutely gorgeous, stuff like that. And I'm like, first thing that popped into my head, I'm being set up. This has to be a setup. So I turn around, and at that point, I'm at the point, there's a lot of stuff that I skipped that happened as well, just different things with friends and situations. But at that point, I don't trust very many people at that point. So first thing I think is I'm being set up. And sure enough, we dance, and then she goes, I said, who are you? And she goes, you don't even remember my name. I said, you never told me your name. She goes, oh, I'm so-and-so. I said, oh, well, I'm Scott Companion. And she goes, well, you're so gorgeous, it's just too bad you're married. And the first thought that popped into my head was, I don't wear a wedding band. So I thought, and I haven't, because I work with machinery, so I don't want a chance of losing my finger. And first thing that popped into my head was, I'm totally being set up. Let's see where this goes. So I told her, no, I'm not married. She kept going on about You're so gorgeous and all that. Where do you live? And I said, I'm actually from Moncton. Oh, you're from out of town? I said, yeah, but whatever. You know, like we can still talk, and you know, there's no harm, no foul in talking to each other. So we continued on, and then she kissed me. So I thought, what do I do now? Do I stop this or do I continue it? And I said, to hell with it, I'm continuing this because I got to find out where this leads to. And if I can figure out what is going on. I fully knew that I was being set up. So anyway, we leave there, and I tell them we're going to the barcade. So we go down to the barcade, they come with us, and her and I kissed a couple more times, and her little friend comes over and says, you need to get the F out of here, you need to get the F out of here. And I told her, I said, no, it's all good. I said, it's a public place, we can do whatever we want. You go hang out with your other friend or whatever, and I can talk to your friend. So then the blonde, a little later, turns around and she says, you know what I really want to do? I said, what's that? She goes, you have no idea how bad I want to make love to you. So anyway, I said, condo's up the road. She goes, my apartment's down the street. I said, great, but how about we do this instead? I said, instead of doing that, let's do this. How about we leave my friend, your friends, you and I, just go to a club or a bar or someplace, sit down quiet, someplace quiet, have a drink, and get to know each other. And she goes, is that really what you want to do? And I said, yes. And her friend comes over again and says, you need to get the F out of here. And she puts her hand up, her little friend goes away. And she goes, what do you really want to do? And I said, what I would really want to do is just, we leave here, we just go sit someplace quiet and we have a chat. She looks at me, pushes me away on my chest, and she goes, you passed the test. And I said, what test? And she just turned around and started dancing with some other guy. Fully knew I was set up. Fully knew someone was probably taking pictures. There was probably video, all that. Didn't care. Every club, every building we walked by on the street probably had video cameras. Didn't care. I knew I was on video. I knew that everybody has a cell phone. I knew that. So anyway, I leave. More crap happens with friends and different things like that. The green dot scenario of times lining up of on times, off times. Another one joins in after I've been asked so many questions about this comic and by someone, and then suddenly their green dots lining up and my conversations are even shorter. If I might have 2 minutes of conversation during the day with a friend, my friend. So anyway, and we were tight. We were really close. So it hurt badly, and so did these setups. So anyway, later on I went back doing another show in St. John, go back to the Five and Dime, had just finished telling a very good friend of mine about the scenario as to what all had happened at that point. No sooner did I finish doing that, I turn around, walk down the stairs, and she's at the bar. So, the blonde. So, we went, had a couple drinks, went back to the comedy club, and everybody wanted to go to a different restaurant, and I said, no, I'm just going to go back up to the condo, have a drink, I don't feel well, or something to that effect. Fully knowing that when they left, I was heading out the other way, and I went back to the Five and Dime. I walked down the stairs, she looked at me and she goes, yeah, I thought that was you. I said, yeah, it was. I said, you owe me something. You owe me an explanation. She turns around and goes, I owe you absolutely nothing. I owe you zero. I said, you know what, that's fine and dandy. I probably used the wrong term there. But at the same time, I just wanted to stop by and say thank you for a terrific weekend. It was so much fun, and thanks for that. That's never happened to me prior to then and since then. So thank you so much. I said, you are truly a beautiful woman, and it was fun. And just kind of like picking, if you will. So she goes, yeah, it was a lot of fun. She goes, I will say that you're a terrific kisser, and the other thing is that we have lots of pictures. So I turned around and I looked at her and I said, listen, you fully do whatever you need to do with whatever pictures you have, because I'm not stupid, I'm not crazy. There's cameras there, and at the other club, everywhere. I said, everybody has a cell phone. Do you think I'm stupid enough not to know that there would not be at least 1 or 2 pictures out there? I said, do me a favor. Whatever you need to do with those pictures, by all means, you please do it. Because you got to remember one thing. If they come out, I will take them, and I will make sure everybody in company Y that you work at gets that sent to their emails, and the only thing that will happen is you're going to look like a total slut. But feel free to send them to whoever you need to. Be it my wife, whoever, I don't care. Send it to them. Because yes, I fully knew I was set up, and yes, I am married. So in the end, I told Heather everything. Heather's my wife. Told Heather everything that had happened, why. She was being asked by, you know, a couple kids saw my posts and different things like that, and she was asked by them, what's with this? And a lot of the crazy weird posts were, I wanted to send something to certain people, but at the same time I wanted to send it super fast, and the only way, and I didn't want to message it, so the only way to get it out there was to quickly put up a post and then just continue on down the post. Basically explaining everything that they were doing at that time that hurt me. And you know, without knowing the entire scenario, it may sound like I'm whining, but there's so much that had happened by certain people, by certain incidents, that it crushed me, it killed me, and I didn't know what to do. So I felt like I was losing my best friend. I felt like I was losing my friends. I felt like everything. I felt like the world was against me and I couldn't trust anybody at all. So anyway, then my friend and I got close again and hung around again throughout the summer. And then it kind of fell apart again. But at the same time,